What's up, everyone? C4 back with another video. It's been quite a minute since I've put out a video, to be honest. I haven't been keeping up with content creation as much. I've been just competing for the past couple years, playing Halo, that kind of stuff. You know, started Mythic Gaming. Now I'm running Noob Combo as well alongside Command Station. And yeah, I just wanted to drop a video. Usually this is going to be for HCS Arlington, my thoughts and basically my review of the whole event. Usually I've put out the past couple events, I've put out like a little music video or something of another. This one I'm gonna do something a little different because I didn't get a whole lot of shots to put a video together. To be honest, I just didn't have time on Friday. I was actually observing for LVT on Friday. I was the second observer alongside Callus, who was also there. He was an amazing person just to get to talk to and sit next to pretty much the whole day, and I was able to come on board. Appreciate Tools for reaching out in the Pro Talk Discord, asking the community to if they wanted to come out and help. They were already coming out to Arlington, and he gave me that shot. And then yeah, and Louis for getting me in the Forge Hub tournament previous to that, getting a little bit of experience on how everything works behind the scenes. So that was very fun. I was busy all day. And when I had breaks, I was getting, either getting food or checking out a couple of matches, and, keeping my eye on everything, and, everything ran pretty smoothly until, we had to stagger, the last like 3 or 4 matches of the open bracket, and we actually missed one game of one of them, because they were supposed to stagger them and we were still waiting for one to finish up. But as soon as I got back in, freaking power went out, and I got into match number 2 for that lobby. I can't remember exactly who was on that team, those two teams, but yeah, the power went out. Friday was still fun. I had a lot of fun. Just talking about the event overall, you get in there, you had these big banners with all 4 players of Optic, including I think Lunchbox was on there. It was pretty sick seeing that. You came in the main lobby. Of course, I had a crew badge, so I was able to get access to a few other things behind the scenes, which we'll talk about, but which was cool. And then yeah, like they had the big old Optic prop in the middle, HCS Arlington prop, huge letters Optic. They had I believe it's like the 405th battalion or something, some type of cosplay group came out. There was about 4 or 5 of them. One of them really had a sick cosplay. It was my favorite. He was carrying around the gravity hammer all weekend, so that was pretty neat getting to see that. And of course, they had props out in the middle of the entry there. They had some flood 3D models. They had some assault rifles. They had a Hayabusa helmet, which was absolutely sick. They had some plasma pistols, a Hydra, I think a sniper rifle was there. So it was really cool just to be able to see those props once again. I think this is like the second, maybe third time I know it's the second time they've done it at Arlington. I'm not sure of the first year. I'll have to recall and look back at some of my older photos, because I didn't take many photos the first year. Took a little bit more the next year, but not enough to really make a full-fledged video. And this year I'm just going to do a review, because I do want to make videos for each event, just either recapping through some sort of music video, or just doing a review like I am now. So we'll jump into it. So you get in there, you got the other main part of the area closer to some of the food stands. They had Dippin' Dots, which was cool. I tried some of those. It's been a while since I Dippin' Dots. I had the cotton candy flavor, awesome, amazing. Get some Dippin' Dots next time you're there. They had 2 stands, one for like cocktails, one for just like beer, Red Bull water. So I didn't really, I had a couple beers on Sunday, which was pretty good. I think it was the Shiner Bock, which is pretty good beer. I actually like it. And then yeah, I got a couple Red Bulls, waters, good stuff. I ate a chicken sandwich from if you down there by the badges, or like where you got your badges and stuff, and the things, they had a food stand on the opposite side down there, near the entrance, which I had a chicken sandwich. They had of course they had their Halo menu, which was just made up names for the items they probably already had on their list. Food, not too bad. It wasn't bad, it's the same price as pretty much last year. You're gonna average about 20 bucks depending on what you get, maybe a little bit more if you add a drink. So food prices, yeah, overall not too bad. Food's not bad. I'd probably give the food, I'd probably give it like a 6.5, maybe a 7 out of 10. Wasn't nothing spectacular. Wasn't nothing like crazy, you know, bad, except for apparently the hot dog. From what Mr. Mayhem on Pro Talk said, the hot dogs were not good. He said the cookies were good. That was cool. But yeah, we get in there where the other food stands are, like I was talking about, near the bathrooms. You had about 3 different tables set up. I want to say there was probably like eight setups on each table, and they had some banners above of Halo stuff that were vertical banners, which was really neat. I don't know if they had anything specific to Halo on them last year, but they did this time, which was really cool of Optic. Of course, they had their merch booth right there in the very front hall. You could get any of their newest merch plus the event t-shirt, which I picked up. And then they had the Optic necklaces. I'll take a picture, put that on the screen. They were selling these for about $35. Of course, me being crew, I got half off, so it was pretty dope. Which was one of the perks, obviously, besides getting a couple of free Cokes. And then LVT provided me with a nice, you know, a nice Jersey Mike sandwich, a little croissant hot dog, and like a salad. They hooked me up, made sure I was fed, which was really cool. But yeah, it was a great freaking weekend. You know, overall, I had a freaking blast. But yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the booths. So you had 3 booths, partner booths. You had Complexity, you had Space Station, and you had Shopify. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about all 3 of these booths, what they had at the event. I don't know if I got it. I think there's a tour video. You can go check out my tour video and see a few of the things that they had. Shopify had the best booth overall at this event because they had the claw machine, which was really neat. It was wrapped in their mascots and their colors, which was dope. It had that little graffiti look to it. I played the hell out of this thing. Definitely, probably mostly. I played a little bit on Friday when I had a break in between some matches, and then I played it on Saturday and Sunday as well. And I got 2 foam fingers. And what else? I got a Croc little pendant giblet thing that you put on your Crocs. I don't wear Crocs, but it's a Shopify logo. And then I won a pin, a Shopify pin, which is on my lanyard. And you can buy all this stuff on their website if you want to get it. They had keychains and they had lanyards in there. Of course, I just bought those because I pretty much won everything. I got some mints. I got to try the mango heat. Tropical mango heat or something like that. It was a little spicy, but it was pretty good. They had berry mints, which I got to try one of those. Good. They had watermelon. Didn't get to try that. I got some of the tropical gum out of there, which was really tasty. Just unfortunately, the flavor didn't last long. Now, this is Respawn Mints and Respawn Gum by 5 Gum, I believe, is the brand. I'm going to have to go out and find some of these mints and try the other 2 flavors. And, you know, even though I tried the berry like once, I want to get a whole thing of that because it was probably the best flavor, honestly. I don't know how the watermelon tastes, but dude, those were good. And they have like B12 in them and maybe caffeine and some other things that kind of boost your energy, which was really, I would say, really helpful. Yeah, so they had that. I won 2 foam fingers, the mints, the gum, the pin and the giblet. And yeah, so that was the best booth. They had, you know, some standard merch. They had their jersey. They had a black t-shirt. They had their cream color t-shirt that they were also selling at Worlds. I already had bought one, so I didn't get anything merch-wise other than the keychain and lanyard. Now, Complexity they were selling flags. They were selling shirts, lanyards, hoodies with their old school logo, which I'm not too big of a fan of. It looks like somebody said a Capital One logo, which is honestly a very okay logo. I don't find it very hype at all. But they had a flag you could sign too. I didn't actually sign it. I just didn't really. I mean, I could have went. I had more than enough time, but I just roamed around instead. And then Space Station, obviously they have the best merch when they come out to these events most of the time. Optic might have been able to rival them on the amount of merch because they had a bunch of different options. Probably about 10 different t-shirts and like a jersey or 2, which I wish they'd sell those freaking green jerseys from the K-Sound event because those are absolutely fire. Please put those on your merch store, Optic, because that jersey, it kind of looked like the black one they had, but it's just more colorful because it's like that bright green. It's probably my favorite jersey. I've never bought an official jersey. I've only bought their 2 basketball jerseys that they had at Charlotte and Worlds for the first year, which was like this Seattle Sonics kind of version of theirs, which I'd love to buy one of their official jerseys, but like I want something that I'm gonna like, you know, 100%. And they're just like sometimes too clean for me, but their green one from Kason was fire. So Optic had some decent merch. You know, of course, I bought a bag too. They had a bag, little bag, like little square bag with a strap. And of course, I had half off, so that helped. So I bought a couple of things just to help support them, you know, and everything. And but yeah, the best booth was definitely Shopify. The best merch game, in my opinion, was Space Station. They had, you know, free stickers, a couple of new ones. They had their new keycaps, which I've got some extras. So you see me at another event, come see me. I might have them on me, and I might be able to give you a few. Yeah, and then they had their new jersey, which was this, you know, bright gold, and I think they have a black variant, but I like the gold one, so I'm probably going to pick that up at another event. I think they're going to be at DreamHack once again. Of course, they had all their usual merch. You know, I bought a Ridge wallet type thing, which was really cool, like this, and it's got their logo on it, and you can kind of like pull it apart. Yeah, you can pull it apart and stick your cards in there. You got a money clip for some cash, which I've got some cash there that I'm going to probably take to the next event. And yeah, I mean, they didn't have nothing too crazy, but the one thing they did have that nobody else had, what they had on display, and I've never seen it on display at another booth, was their freaking championship ring. That thing was absolutely beautiful, and I wish more orgs would. I think maybe FaZe might have been the other one that had one of theirs on display. I know they had a trophy. I've never seen Optics up close, which would have been really sweet to see their championship ring. Those things are absolutely amazing, and dude, I'd give any amount of money to have one of those, but you know, hey, you got to earn them. You got to earn them. You got to play good. You got to win a freaking tournament, right? You got to come out there and do your best, which we'll see who wins this year. But yeah, the open bracket area, very spacious. They did have some trouble on Friday at the initial start. It took a couple hours from my observing station, which was number 2, one of the featured stations on the platforms, which is a big W. It needs to be a thing that continues throughout the rest of HCS and going forward. That was really cool. But yeah, like that, the whole open bracket area was very spacious. You had a couple of hiccups on the first 2 feature stations, as well as maybe some of the other open bracket stations. No big deal. We got everything done on time, even with the power outage. We got it all back to, you know, square one by like noon on Saturday, which was dope. So Friday was, yeah, it was just a chill day, like chilling with LVT. Got to talk to Walshy in the break room while I was eating lunch in the back near the pro rooms. He chatted up with me for 2 or 3 minutes. Shout out to Walsh for just being a cool guy, you know, just chatting with him while I was eating my Jersey Mike's, which was absolutely freaking delicious. Jersey Mike's. Shout out to them. This is not sponsored by them at all. But yeah, and then let's see. So Saturday we roll in. I get up about 8 o'clock, and I head over to the venue because we still got like 2 freaking open bracket matches. Now I wanted to make sure LVT had somebody to help them cover it. They didn't ask me to come back out on Saturday because the plan was for me to play free for all, which I ended up doing anyways. But I came in, made sure I ran it out with them through the rest of the open bracket matches, and then I was off to the races to hit the FFA. Got signed up. Had about 1,070 points to start with. Even though they had random seeding, some of the other FFA contestants got really super stacked lobbies, like Goober. He unfortunately got knocked out in the quarterfinals alongside myself and a few other really great players. Some awesome players got knocked out in the first 3 rounds, which was sad to see. A lot of finalist potential players. So I mean, that was really kind of, I wish the points would have mattered a little bit more. They were the seeding was in my favor because my lobby had about 3 to 4 good players that were recognizable. Some of the other players I didn't really know. No offense to them, but just haven't seen them or, you know, seen them play before. And yeah, I made it all the way to the quarterfinals, top 32, and ended up being 24th on the leaderboard for points. So I got a little bit over, I think it's like 2,054 points. That's like double what I had last year, which is kind of crazy. So that's going to help me out going into DreamHack FFA, and then hopefully I can continue that success, get back to the quarterfinals, and try to make semis. I want to break into semis this year, if not the finals. That is my goal. I'm going to be practicing with regulators. Shout out regulators. Make sure you go to noobcombo.com, go hit the grassroots section, and then go find the Discord link there. And yeah, so Saturday, pretty good day. Got through the FFA, got to watch it. Ninja Dilly was in my quarterfinals match. This guy, I mean, he went from like tied for fourth with me and a bunch of other dudes. I was leading the match like in the second and third spot for quite some time for a majority of the match, and unfortunately for like a minute or so I just couldn't really string together any kills. And so I got knocked out by like 3 kills. I only need like 3 kills to secure my spot into the to the semifinals. But Ninja Dilly went on. One of the regulators alongside Maddie, Command Station, Suspector. There was a Gunplexion. I think there was a Mexican region player. Can't remember. I'll have to look. But it's all on Noob Combo. You can go check it out over there. I got all the results on Noob Combo. There is an article on the very first page, and you can see all that in detail with nice screenshots. Yeah, they also had Magico, Camp, and Envor in that lobby as well. Gunplexion, who took 5th. But yeah, so I was cheering on Ninja Dilly. This dude was leading the entire match for the majority of the game, and then within the last 2 seconds, Suspector tied it up at 51 kills and edged him out for first place by like 10 or 11 deaths, which was absolutely insane for him to even clutch up that final kill to tie it. Because I mean, I was sitting there, I was hollering behind Ninja Dilly, just giving him some vibes, you know, cheering him on, trying to keep his head in the game, because I knew this guy could have won it, and he did a great job. He got second, took home $1,200. That's his highest placing, I think. Before that it might have been quarterfinals, which was an insane run for him. Very historic run. But Saturday went pretty smooth. Other than that, got to watch, I want to say I watched a couple matches. I walked around a lot, played some more of the claw machine. I didn't really play on the stations outside in the main lobby. Like I said, there was 3 setups with like there was like 3 tables with 8 setups on each table, and it really checked that out. But I got to talk to, you know, quite a few community members. Shout out to Luminon. We got to speak with him, Will from Pro Talk, which was very good. Got to talk to my buddy Siege, who I teamed with, and Cobra here previously before we split, and so that was cool. Getting to meet up, talk to Gunplexion a little bit, and there's all kinds of other people that I can't even think of at the moment. But yeah, the community is amazing. This is like one of the main reasons I come out to these events, is the community, and I just absolutely love just getting to see people and meet people that just love Halo and talk about Halo, because there's really nothing in my life other than Halo that, I mean, I have other interests like Star Wars and other like you know, IPs out there that I follow, but Halo is the one thing that I'm absolutely just passionate about, being just a part of the scene. It doesn't matter what I do, like if it's casting, hosting tournaments, observing, playing, just being a fan and showing up. I'm a big fan of everything, and I like to be, you know, I like to be a part of every community to a certain extent, you know. And I just want to also, the B&B I stayed at. Now, I know there's a lot of people that out here that would probably refrain from this, but I went out and stayed with Ascending Baseline. Amazing group of people, great personalities, very just very kind, and had a lot of hospitality to provide, you know, picking me up from the airport on Thursday night, and then just let me stay there and save. I saved probably about $150. Even with all the Ubers that I had to take, I still ended up saving like $150, which is absolutely huge when you're trying to make it out to these lands. So I want to say shout out to them for that, and I appreciate it very much for letting me stay in one of the bunk beds there, and then being able to attend their free-for-all for free, which was on Friday night. Took second next to Suspector, who beat me by like 10 kills. So very, very fun time. Got a lot of good land practice on actual Xbox setup, so that really lent to me playing very well on Saturday in the free-for-all. I didn't play any of the side tournaments, unfortunately. I usually don't do any of the MCC stuff or the Halo 5 stuff, because I'm just so out of the loop on like how to... I'm still decent at those games, but like not enough to really do anything crazy. But Infinite's my game, you know. And so they had a 1v1. Goober took first, with Flourishly taking second. I think Command Station might have got like third or fourth. That was fun watching them duke it out on Saturday night, and then he got to play on the main stage, which was really cool on Sunday. And yeah, I mean, I got there Sunday, had a had a couple beers, relaxed a little bit, and yeah, watched the pretty much every match that whole day. I watched all the matches and got to hang out with Zeus God and CJOC. Shout out to him. He's been doing a lot of graphic work for the community, for people like Clutch Academy, Luminon, and so on and so forth, and Ascending Baseline, as well as Mythic Gaming. He's been doing a lot of work out there. Go check him out if you need any graphical work. He's on point. This man works his ass off to make sure people gets their graphics on time in their Spartans. So really cool stuff. He's also worked with Dark Inside. Shout out to them for making pool play. So that's dope. I got to hang out with them on Sunday night and have dinner with Lido. I believe his name is Morgan, and then Joker, who was there coaching that weekend with him, and as well as Lego. Shout out to Lego and Siege. We all had some dinner at a nice little taco place called Takira. I don't know how you pronounce it, man. Joker was he was tripping me up with the way he was pronouncing it. Of course, I believe that's Spanish is one of the languages he speaks, so he was tripping me up. I was like, what is it again? But it was pretty decent. Had some quesadillas, but yeah, like, not to talk too much about food or anything, the event overall I think was great. The only thing I could say that I wish could be different about some of these events is just putting the free-for-all finals like on the main stage, at least, you know, Saturday night or Sunday in the morning. I wish, you know, the show matches are fun and all, and I think it's a great reward for like awarding some of the side tournament contestants for making it that far to be able to play with pros. That was cool, but I would love to see the free-for-all finals, you know, make it to the main stage at some point. I mean, if you're not going to do it for most of the majors, at least do it for Worlds, is my opinion. You know, those boys and girls, they and women, they deserve a spot on the main stage to show off their skills. You know, and even though LVT covered it, they did a fantastic job. Shout out to LVT, working their asses off all weekend to make sure they're covering as much as possible. Only other thing I'd probably critique there is just making sure they watch some of the B stream stuff going forward. The stuff that's not casted, because there were a few complaints. I didn't get to watch their stream because I was working and obviously there, but from some of the community members, the feedback was that they needed to watch some of the uncasted matches, and I kind of have to agree. Some of those matches need to be casted. You know, there shouldn't have to be like two streams playing the same match, you know, like the main Halo stream and LVT. So that would be my only other feedback, other than maybe the sound being a little bit better for the listen-ins and the mix of everything with the host up on the analyst desk, and you know, the gameplay. They maybe could mix that just a little bit better. But I mean, they handled the power outage very well. The city was able to work with HCS and Esports Engine to get everything back up and running by Saturday morning, so that was great. I was almost at one point thinking that this whole event was going to get shut down, but it didn't. Thank God, because I don't know what I would have done for the rest of Saturday and Sunday, but it worked and we got through it. And I just want to say shout out to HCS, Divian as well. You know, one of my friends there that I've gotten to meet. He's one of the producers of HCS, the head one, I believe. And so, yeah, shout out to him for being there and being welcoming, and then just supporting the scene. Like, hopefully we get a year 5 from this. But I would say overall, my opinion, this is a huge step up from year 1. It's probably a little bit of a step up from year 2, just because you got the feature stations, and you had a couple of, you know, the actual partner teams, because the last year was just Cloud9 and Optic, and it was like a Straight Rippin', and Straight Rippin' unfortunately are no longer with us from what I can tell, but it's probably a little bit of a step up. So I'm gonna, you know, I think overall, just recapping everything, the props, the merch, the food, the you know, all this activities, I would say this is probably like 7.5 solid, maybe even 8 possibly, just because, you know, it's a little bit better. They're working on the feedback. So we're going to be leading in to DreamHack next, so stay tuned for another video. I'm not sure if I'm going to do, I know I'm going to do a Mythic Gaming vlog, because we're sending our team, one of our teams, which has got Melman, Huffy, Crexy, and we're working on getting a 4th. And I will be designated coach, even though I won't be there on Friday to help them. I'll have a coach pass to get in. So there's that benefit to that, and everything. So yeah, like I said, I appreciate everybody watching this video and the review. That's going to be the end of this video. So if you got any questions for me, anything you want to know about the event that I could possibly answer, please feel free to put them in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe for any more future content. I'll be putting out clips, montages, maybe some TED Talks, eventually. And yeah. Appreciate you guys. Take it easy. Peace.
Subscribe to Legendary C4 for more Halo content.